My people, what's up? Welcome to another week of trading this prop firm account, and we have updates because we did end the week with a trade that was still running. Today is Monday. It's currently like 4:55 p.m. I did take a trade today, but I wasn't able to, I had a busy day. I had to step out soon after, so I decided to make a recording when I was back, and luckily the trade is still going. I'll just go on and show you guys the verdict from the last trade and the new trade we have taken today. Stay tuned. This is the CHFGPY position we had left running. It was around here or so. We hit TP. We didn't hit TP on Sunday, did we? Yeah, we did actually. Early, like London session, we hit TP. That means another 2% on the account. I will show you guys here on the dashboard. And today, we took a buy on GBP JPY. On the daily, we can see we have this daily imbalance. It's being respected. It did go up, down, and targeting this high and eventually this high. So I am participating in this. My entry initially was supposed to be off this 4-hour imbalance, but I wasn't stable. I wasn't by the charts. My entry could have been something like this, and I could have hit TP already. I could have. What happened is I actually set the P&L too, and I went to do something else. So by the time I was back, price was already up here. And also I didn't really want to enter straight from here, because as you can see, it's like ping pong, respecting this and respecting this at the same time. I needed to see some disrespect of bearish price action on this lower time frame. So somewhere like around here, this candle here, I could have made my entry, but it is what it is. Since it still had some way to go, I decided to now take my entry here. I think from the 1 hour, take my entry around here. This is where I found the market. Then so it's ride it from there. 4 hours disrespected this high, and I would like to see this one keep disrespecting, because if it now sweeps, that's not going to be so good. My stop loss is well protected over here, and we are going for a 1:2 as well. And let's just see how this one goes. On the dashboard, this is where we are. The current balance is 5,102. We are currently where is that stuff? Well, we have 2 profitable days. We are basically 2% up. 2% off. Lots 0.95, average around 1.5. 4 trades. So far so good. Target to 8%. And the current equity is like 5119. That's the trade going. Okay, it's still there. This trade went up to, I think the equity went up to like 517 something today before it came. That's when it went all the way up here. So hopefully this goes well as well. If this goes well, we'll be up +6, and we'll just need 2% to pass this phase of the account. Alright guys, that's basically it for now. I will catch you later once we have our verdict. Basically, today is over. Tuesday is over. It's already 4:59. It's like 5 p.m. basically over here. And New York daylight savings has gone up, so the New York time zone has gone forward by an hour. It's no more -5, it's now -4. And yeah, catch you guys in the next clip. My people, we're back with another update, and I have an update. Definitely the trade we entered on Monday. Today is Wednesday, by the way, and a lot has happened. So I'm going to go over what I have done, any updates and whatsoever. Basically just going to give you the whole gist of what has happened so far. And yeah, let's get to it. Here we are. This is the trade we entered on Monday, GBP, JPY, and we just hit TP. Like literally within the last hour, I think the last 15 minutes we hit TP. It has been running up and down from Monday, but eventually we hit TP. And this puts us up at I think it should be 6%. This puts us up at 6%, which is good, but let's load it up so you guys see it yourself. We are currently, wait, what? We are currently showing 5,100, but the balance should be, maybe it hasn't updated yet, the balance should be 5,300, but you can see the current equity here, 5,359, and we have just $40 left. I'll explain why and what happened. We did make 4% of this trade. We risked 2%, as I said, on Monday, and we just hit TP now. But on Tuesday we did enter another trade, CAD JPY. I bought CAD JPY sometime in Tuesday. By then GBP JPY was already like 1 hour in profit. My reason being that, as I said, the challenge phase, I would be more aggressive with the challenge phase. All I had to make sure was my setup showed. My exact setup presented itself and I took the trade. Coming from a daily fair value gap, I'd want to see price running any opposing liquidity or opposing arrays. In this case, it's a fair value gap on the 4 hour, a rejection high there. Let me go back to the 4 hour. You have this rejection high here, so price should sell from it if it's to sell. But on the 1 hour, we have this 1 hour fair value gap here, and we invalidated that, so that gave me a go ahead to see that okay, we would most likely or more likely go to the upside than going to the lower, going for lower prices, you get. And that's how we got this. It's here, we are close to TP, and this trade will pretty much pass us this phase when it hits TP, you understand. And that's it. So I'm just watching this trade. Today is Wednesday. I'm watching this trade till it hits TP, and as soon as it does, we can go over to the next phase. I do not see any signs of it going down. I don't even want to expect it to go down. Price should just behave itself and go up, but it is what it is. We're here to follow the process and follow the plan as usual. That's basically what happened. So this week we have 2 trades, GBP JPY and CAD JPY. This week risked 2% on the GJ and risked 1% on CAD JPY. My observation now is, remember last week too, I also added to my position, being aggressive, right? Following my initial plan or whatever. By the way, it's crazy hot over here, so following my initial plan. But I am doing well to be careful of one thing. When you start, because overconfidence is coming in, I'm on a winning streak, and there are tendencies for me to carry on this foolishness to lower probability markets. I am being very aware, because as soon as I saw the trade, I was like in between the 2 decisions. Don't take the trade, just stick to down, wait for the GJ. But I was like, time, all that. So the only thing I did as a stopgap was to risk 1%. I had no reason to risk 2% anymore. That's like too much exposure. I needed to just risk 1%, follow the plan, and 1:2. Sometime in the past, I tried risking 2%. If you go back to my older videos in this channel, I was in this same position. I risked 2% and I lost it because I FOMO'd, and as soon as I lost it, I pretty much eventually lost the account. So it's good to learn from your experiences and know yourself. Once I am done with the challenge phase, go to the funded phase, you're not going to see any of this. I will take only one trade. If that one hasn't hit TP or stop loss, so be it. Do you get? Because it's a different ball game, and that me doing this would increase the tendency for me to break rules and go on a tilt, and be greedy. So what I'm just trying to say here is be aware of yourself and know your mind, basically. Let me not ramble on for too long. We'll be back with the verdict for this trade. I'll catch you guys in the next one. What's up, my people? We're back again, and we have got news. Today is Thursday, and phase one is in the bag. It's in the bag, guys. I woke up around Asia, and I saw we're like $1 above the what's it called, the target, to pass phase one. And of course, as a very diligent human being, I went on to close the trade. We didn't hit TP. We did not need to hit TP actually, but I'm glad we are still on track. Things are going as planned so far. So I'll show you guys the trade, and straight up we are already in another trade. You understand? Work is not finished. It's a good feeling, but the work is not finished. But let's get to the charts. Here we are with the trade that gave us our phase one. CAD JPY, as I mentioned before, we ended up closing around 1:8.7. 1:1.87. I knew that sounded wrong. And just shy of 1:1.9. And just around there, the tip there, that's where I closed. Like I said, around Asia. Very early morning for me. I'm just coming back from the gym actually. I had to just go do my stuff. Today was a push day, chest, triceps, and shoulders. Had to go do that, then come back and record a clip. I can't even feel. I've grown past the fact, grown past the whole feeling very excited thing. I don't know. I think that's what trading does to you over time. But definitely is the win. I really appreciate that. And now we just have to go on to finishing the job. As I said, I was looking at Euro card for sales. It didn't form. So right now we are in silver. I haven't traded metals in a while. Oh, by the way, let me show you guys the dashboard on Gold Funded. I don't know if you can. I don't know why it struggles to focus when I open GFT's website, but right here is shown past. Yeah, then you can see what I said, just $1, 5,401. That is all we needed. Yeah, the stats, we had a 66.67% win rate, average RR 1.5, all the whatsoever, we passed. And the account right now that's active is this one. This is the phase 2 account, and as you can see, daily drawdown 4%, max drawdown 10%, and our target is 6%. So same as always, I'm going to be risking 2%, and we'll just stick to the same plan. But as I said, we're in a trade on silver. We have daily context, a daily fair value gap, and price is currently respecting this, sweeping the previous day's low, and I'm expecting it to go target this high and eventually reach up to here. What is there? Because you can't see anything there. The next target is there, but there we have something on the 4 hour. We have a swing high, and we had a bearish fair value gap here, which we were respecting. We went swept the low, and price has come to disrespect that place, this swing high, which was the next bearish area that price could have swept to go lower. So that's basically my logic. I look for the market to eliminate any resistance I may possibly have. I want the smoothest delivery. You get, I don't want to be part of the Power Rangers or something. We had the first 1 hour candle close, and we had the second 1 hour candle close above, and that was my signal. As for my stop loss, normally I would have liked my stop loss to be way down below here, but we're protecting it with the bodies of the 4 hour candle. And I was anticipating this candle to be an expansion candle. I don't know if it eventually formed a fair value gap. It did. There's a small fair value gap there, which is good. So that is basically it. Work is not finished. We keep going. If the market favors us, 2 winning trades, and we can get onto the funded stage if we keep going on this run. But the important thing to note is in trading, what I've noticed, there will be good times and there will be bad times, definitely. But with experience and with time, you need to identify this good and this bad market conditions. You should take advantage of the good ones. Following your rules doesn't mean you should go lose your senses and, you know, gamble your life away. But in the bad times, you should know when to like protect yourself, your mental capital, your money, and you should engage less because it's a waste of time. What we do most times, you actually get good at trading, but you now spend time burning yourself out in the bad conditions, and in the good conditions you've already been scarred, you have fear, and you don't engage. You either now end up being a losing trader or a break-even trader, which shouldn't be so. That's about it, guys, and we will get back to this whenever this plays out. This is Thursday, as I said. The week is almost over. It's not been a bad week. I can't complain, actually. I just hope for some volatility, and catch you guys in the next one. What's up, fam? We are back with another update. Today's Friday and it's the end of the week, and I'm going to be giving updates on what happened yesterday being Thursday and today being Friday. It's not what I expected. It's not what I expected, but it is what it is. Let me show you guys the chart. If you remember correctly, we took a buy trade on silver on Thursday, and this is how that went: -2. That's one. And today being Friday, I couldn't record yesterday. Today being Friday, we took another trade on CAD JPY buy trade, another -2. I think there was a news release here on CAD or something. And what matters is I followed my rules, followed the rules to the T. I was trading like daily context, but it just wasn't happening this time around. And that brings us down to, let me check this, brings us down to -4. We have about 6% left. $300 is about 6%. This is the daily drawdown. So you see, plus I think there was a little slippage, and because it was news release, a little slippage, and the fees brought it down by an extra $9 or 8 point something dollars. But that's fine. Definitely next week, definitely I'm going to be risking 1% on the next trade. I'm not going to skip just like I did before. And that brings the week to a close. It's not the best ending. I wish it could have ended better, to be honest, and it's a bit annoying coming to have two losing trades in quick succession, but it happens. As far as I followed my rules, they may not have been, I don't know, I will have to study and see what went wrong and why they weren't the best trades to take, of course. But what matters is I showed up and I did what I did. It could have been a win as well. What would I have done then? And that brings the end to this week's video. These are the trades that we took this week. You can see the account, phase 1 account, and the trade history there, and you can see the current account we are on. We hope for the best next week, to be honest. Doesn't get any better than that. We just use the week, journal, back test, and come again next week. Catch you guys in the next one.